Hello, it is your fairy godmother. Pun intended. I look a bit gothy today. I like it. This is this week's color, green. Did you notice I just change color every week? So what will be the color next week? Do you know? Who knows? Anyway, hi, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, we talk about tattoos, piercings, body mods in general. If you like this type of content, you can go and look at my things and subscribe, like, if you enjoy. This week we will be talking about a subject that I've talked previously once or twice or maybe 3 times on this channel, which is ear stretching. Is it a new video about how to stretch up your ears? Well, you see the title, so you know it's not that. So yeah, it's gonna be a video about what happens if you wait. You remove your stretches and you wait. Will they close up? We'll see. So, first thing I think I need to say is how big my ears were, stretch-wise. What's the gauge, what's the size that they were before I removed them. So this was the size. So it's 14 millimeters. It looks a bit bigger with these plugs because they are screw-on tunnels. So screw-on tunnels always look a bit bigger, about one size bigger than they actually are. Anyway, I cannot believe these were I could put these in my ears. And now I will show you how they look now. As you see, I have earrings. On va cacher le fait que je suis en train de perdre mes ongles. Can we focus? This is how it looks. Whoop, 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 whoop. I had a piercing there as well. But yeah, this is how it looks now. And I can just put an earring on there. Whoop. It's hard to put when you don't see. So yeah, I put earrings on top of my past stretched ears. So I will also make a video on how to hide the fact that you had stretched ears with earrings, if you'd like to know more, if you are interested. But for today, I think what we want to know is how will it look on me after I remove my own stretches, if I ever choose to remove them. Maybe for people who are looking into it, maybe people that want to stretch their ears and are not sure of if they change their mind, or people who already have stretched ears and think about removing them or are early on in the process of removing them. So after you remove them, it will take a while for them to close up a bit. I remember I went about a month or maybe 3 weeks after I removed them. I went to get a piercing. I think it was my septum. And I went to get a piercing and I asked the person there, like, could you tell me at what size I am? I removed them a while ago. And he was like, you're at 14 millimeters. I was like, okay, that's what I was. It didn't close up. He was like, how long did you remove them for? And I said, well, about a month. He was like, okay, you'll need more time than that, obviously. And there's a couple of factors that will influence on how your ears will look after you stretched up your ears. First one is, of course, the size you went to. So if you went to 2G, 0G, usually that's considered the maximum for your ears to close up. I'm saying that because there's always other factors that come into play, but they will not completely close up. They will close up so you can put an earring in. So when you stretch up your ears, you know that you will always have a hole in your ear, just so you know. So yeah, in general, it's about 2 to 0G, the maximum for them to close up. That is considered the maximum. Even 4G, depending on your anatomy. But it also depends how big you go, in terms of if you go up to an inch, you will not have the same result as I have here. So if you go up to an inch or 2 inches, I don't know how big you want to go for your ear stretches or how big you went, but if you go very big, you might need actually a surgery, an ear reconstruction surgery for your ears to be closed up. I considered it for my ears, but as you've seen, it's really not that bad and it's not that big of a deal. It can be hidden very easily. I just considered it because if I want to put like very minimal earrings, I just cannot really, because they will just slide onto the floor, fall off. So that doesn't work. Anyway, it's really not a priority. I don't think I will do it because there's so many tattoos I want and so many other things that I don't think I will go for it. But who knows? If I have money to spend, maybe I will. Because yeah, that's another thing with things like ear reconstruction surgery and tattoo removal. It costs way more and it is way more painful to do that and to go back in time than actually doing it. So it's way more painful and way more costly to get a surgery or to get a laser. I'm doing that because I'm starting a laser tattoo removal on my finger. Yeah, it's way more expensive and long and painful to do so. So think before you get it. I know I'm an impulsive girl sometimes. I went for it. I went back in time. I understand, my dear. So the size was the first factor, and the second one is how you stretched up your ear, because there's different things that you could do. On my channel, you have seen in the past how to stretch up your ears without pain with the taping method, Teflon tape method, and the taping. I'm not sure how to differentiate the two, but the tapers in. What am I doing? Tapers. I'm 5 years old. The tapers in the ear. I'll do that move instead, like whip. So DIY at-home method, which is one thing, and there's also the scalpel. Have you been to your piercer and asked to scalpel your ear to gauge them up? Which is different. Just a small anecdote on that, how I discovered that this existed. I was stretching up my ears and I think I was at about 4G at that time, maybe 2, maybe even 0. Anyway, so I knew about the scalpel, but I was like, this is not something I'm gonna do. And there was a guy who came at the shop where I was working, and his friends were with him. And they looked at him, they looked at me, and they were like, ha ha ha, laughing at him because I, the small girl, had bigger ear stretches than him. Look, the small girl has bigger ear stretches than you. Like it's a thing that you can laugh at someone for that reason. Weird friends, I'm gonna say. Because, I don't know, do you laugh at someone because you like tattoos? Haha, this one has more tattoos than you. You like tattoos? Oh, this one is way more heavily inked than you are. Like, nobody says that. So why do you say that for stretched ears? Anyway, and it's not a competition. Competition? I sound like it's German. Bitteschön. Competition. It's not a competition. I cannot English today. Anyway, so the guy came back about 2 to 3 months later into the shop with very big ear stretches, like more than 0, like double 0, even higher than that. And it was bigger than mine now. And I was like, whoa, you went very fast. How the hell? And he was like, oh, I went for the scalpel. And I was like, you're crazy. Anyway, he was really proud of himself. Whatever. That was a funny anecdote. If a girl does better than you, who cares? It's not doing better to have bigger ear stretches. Because it's not a competition. Competition. The way that your ear will look different when you have scalpeled it than when you have DIY'd your way through, and if you went slowly as well, because the more you inflict pain, you tear up your ear, the more it will change it, let's say. Especially, it's going to be especially different if you have a scalpel, because scalpel will look more vertical, and if you DIY it, it's gonna look a bit more like me. Like, it will look less vertical, a bit more natural. And there's also another factor that will influence on how it looks after you remove them, which is your lobe. Just your anatomy, how your lobe looks. So I have a kind of a wobbly big lobe, normal of course, but big in a sense. And there's people with almost no lobe, which for them in general it's going to be also harder to go up in size for ear stretches, because there's not a lot to work with. And for some it will also be impossible. That's another subject. Anyway, for those who have done it with a smaller lobe, I've seen people and it still looks like just a hole after years. Just a hole, a big hole. Not big, like not super big. Of course it shrinks, but it looks more like a hole than it does for my ear. So of course your anatomy will change. And the last thing is time. The longer it is, with the less things in your ear, the smaller it will get, but at a certain point it stops getting smaller. For example, I know mine are at the smallest that they can be. It's been 5 years. For a while I was not putting anything in my ear just to make sure it wasn't helping it to stay stretched. But after a while I was like, I just want to put earrings in. So I started putting earrings, and sometimes I put these more heavy earrings. But yeah, time. Because as I've said before with my little anecdote from the shop, after 3 weeks, it will not have changed that much. Maybe a size after about a month, maybe, because you know, some people, they just remove it for a day or two, and then it also already had to shrink a bit, and it's really hard to put the past size back. So yeah, time is something else. I would love to give you one straight answer. You go to that, it will look like this. But as you've seen in this video, it's more complex than that. It's just not a very, very straight answer. And the smaller you are, the more squishy your earlobe is, and the less you go for a scalpel, probably the more it will look natural if you remove it. So if you wanted to know your options, that's things to consider. So if you want to know more about how to stretch up your ears, of course I have videos on that, but most likely you have clicked on this video after seeing the others which went viral. So you can go see that on my channel, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tattoo and body mod content, because there's a lot to come. And please help the YouTube algorithm to show my videos to the people who will be interested in them. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next week.